The moment you guys have been waiting for, at least a lot of you from what I've seen, the official Sega Genesis Big 6 controllers from Retrobit are here. I have both the wired original port and then the wireless 2.4 gigahertz version that comes with an original port adapter and USB to use it on original Sega Genesis consoles, PC, Mac, Nintendo Switch, and other USB-enabled devices. I believe the USB wired one, they're still waiting for those to come in. And I know Retrobit has shipped these out to retailers. So if you pre-ordered one some months ago, you should be getting them soon. I'm pretty much neighbors with Retrobit, so they sent these to me around the same time, and I got them pretty quick because literally we're neighbors, just about. Not literally, but yeah, I'm pretty close to them. So that's why I got these a little early here to share with you guys. We're going to test them out. I'm going to focus more on the wireless one. We may even just tear it down as well, see what makes this thing tick. But yeah, we got 2.4 gigahertz wireless. Has, what is it, a 500 milliamp hour lithium ion battery, 30-foot range, all that good stuff. We're not going to read everything back there. Freeze frame if you want to read it. But yeah, let's just get into this. Open her. I already cut that side. Open her up and test this thing out. See how this thing is packaged as well. So I know like the other Sega controllers, they put them in like these plastic cases that were really nice. But you know what? This looks cool too. Just a cardboard box, but you know what? Hey, that's fine. And it is the version 2 adapters. So we got that going. They say V2 on them. Very cool. USB and the original port. And then here is the actual control. It's got a little bit of weight to it. And then the manual or fold out manual. Yeah, it's a little fold out thing. There we go. Giving you all the default button mappings, the macros, clear pairing, Nintendo Switch Online Sega mode. That is awesome. Classics mode. Change left analog, right analog. There's a lot of different modes you can mess around with here, so that's cool. What else do we got here? Using on the Switch, and then other languages. So cool. I believe there should be a cable in here as well for charging. Yeah, we got a USB-C cable, and then a thank you card from them as well. Share a bit of your retro side. Tag them with your pictures and whatnot, right? But here it is. There we go. We're going to open this thing up in a minute, but I do like the weight we got here. We have an L and R button up here. We have the inset start button, which you're not like, you know, the way they have that positioned, it's easily accessible, but I don't think you're going to accidentally hit it because you got to like literally like go over there and press it. If you're like fat fingering the X, Y, and Z buttons, I don't think you're going to press that by accident because it's pretty much flush with the controller there. Okay. Then underneath, a home and select button. This has some nice little weight to it. Okay. So there's that one. Let's take a quick look at the wired one as well. See how this one comes packaged. I like the wired options, and I do have their other ones as well. I like it just, hey, if I'm like getting into it, this one doesn't come in like a nice box like this one did, but that's okay. But I like the wired versions because I like using them as backup. Because yeah, you know, if you don't charge your battery for a while or you use it up, you want to have something to fall back on. This has that same inset start button. I know some people would have preferred if it was just like in the middle because it's kind of like an empty space. And yeah, that would have been fine. If they would have just put it in the middle, I think that would have been fine, but this is okay. So there you go. I don't know why, but the plastic looks a little, maybe it's just my lighting. I don't know, but the plastic looks a little darker on the wired one than the wireless one. Could just be the lighting or my eyes playing a trick on me. You let me know, does it seem slightly darker? I don't know, but there's that. So this one we have the mode button up top and nothing else, just your standard Sega Genesis controller. Really awesome. I didn't have Sega consoles initially. Like I had Nintendo, you know, NES, Super Nintendo, Game Boy. Eventually I had a Game Gear, loved that thing. But my first actual Sega console was the Sega Saturn. And I fell in love with that controller. Like I was like, every controller needs to be like that. 6 face buttons and bam. But okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and power up the Sega, test it on a few different things and try it out, and then we'll tear it down at some point. Let's go ahead and rearrange. Okay, so I think I realized why they moved the start button right there. It's just so much more convenient to hit it and you're not accidentally pressing it. But you know, if you had to travel over to the middle, that would be fine too. I mean, that's worked for many years for people. But yeah, I think that's fine the way it is. Didn't want to dwell on that. But okay, on the Genesis Model 3 original hardware here, I'm having no issues using this, synced right up as well. And the D-pad is freaking awesome. I'm having no issues doing moves in Street Fighter, my Hadokis, my Dragon Punches, all that good stuff. And kind of a risky endeavor, I did tear this thing down before I even used it, all right? I did. And I'm happy to say it just seems like a quality controller with all the parts that they used here. The membranes, they are nice, they're thick, they are not like crazy stiff or anything. Sometimes you get those membranes that are really thin and chintzy and they just seem like they're gonna deteriorate, but the membranes, they have a nice feel to them with the buttons. And then the D-pad itself, with the two pieces with the pivot in the middle, they use nice quality plastic that's thick. Doesn't seem like it's gonna break or crack or anything like that. So yeah, so far I'm really happy, but let's keep testing on different things. Let's not forget the wired one real quick. It works fantastic, exactly just like the wireless one, but it's just for the Genesis. Everything responds well, feels great. So yeah, this one's cool too, but back to the wireless one. What do you know, this thing works great on the Sega Genesis Mini 1 and 2. No issues with it, but one thing to note, if you have any issues, make sure you refer to the little manual it came with. Like for the Genesis Mini, it tells you if the LED is blue, it's not gonna work. You're gonna have to hold Start and B to change it to red. And then if you have an issue pairing with any device between either of the dongles, and it just won't say, it just doesn't wanna sync up, you press the sync button, whatever, you can reset it, either the little button on the back with a pin or something, or just hold the select Start and A button and it'll clear the pairings, and then you could just resync it in 2 seconds and it works. But yeah, this thing seems to be working great on everything I'm throwing at it, or throwing it at. On the Genesis Mini and Mini 2, if you hit the select button, brings up the system menu, and you can go ahead and save state, return the menu, all that good stuff. But yeah, so far it's working great on everything I'm testing it on, but let's test it on something else. Okay, so this works great on the Nintendo Switch as well. You know, you're kind of limited on the type of games you could play, but if you want to use it for Switch Online Genesis games, you have a mode. You hit Start and A, and it'll turn to the Sega Genesis Switch Online mode, where the buttons correspond exactly to how they should be for a Sega Genesis game. So that is really awesome. Like in this game here, Shinobi 3, the A button's ninjutsu, that's how it should be, and then the B button is attack, and then the C button is jump. If you had it on the normal Switch mode, it would be a little different than that. So yeah, that's cool. Overall, I think this is an excellent controller for many different purposes. On the Switch, you also have different modes where you can change it to where the D-pad works as recognized as the analog stick for the left or right analog stick. And you can swap the A, B, X, Y buttons as well. So there's a lot of little macros here and things you could do with this. For me, I'm gonna be using this on my Sega Genesis, my Mega SG, and on the Minis whenever I play them. And why the hell not? Genesis Switch Online stuff as well when I occasionally play that stuff. But yeah, ultimately, I think this may be the ultimate Sega Genesis controller. I'm digging it. Not really having any issues. Quality is really good. Not anything I could really complain about. It's what I hoped it would be. There you go. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate y'all watching. Bye.